Hello and welcome to another Epic East cocktail video. Today we're going to be making an old-fashioned using Woodford Reserve bourbon and also an old-fashioned kit made by the Cocktail Box Company. Inside this box you'll find that it has everything you need in order to make 6 premium old-fashioned cocktails. That's what it says on the back of the box, but let's find out how good it is. We'll start by just listing out what's inside the box. We've got cane sugar, cocktail picks, aromatic bitters, orange bitters, grapefruit bitters, a muddler spoon and a linen coaster. So once the plastic wrap's removed, there's a cardboard sleeve that we can remove, and you're then presented with a shiny metal tin. Inside the tin there is a small card that has details of how to make the drink, what's included, what you need to add yourself, and also a good example of any other drinks that they currently offer in this box format. There's also a handy little business card if you require support, or if you just want a link to the website so that you can check out any other products that they may have. That might be a little bit small, but let's see how it goes. Also the linen napkin that we mentioned, a cute little design motif stitched onto it as well. Next up out of the box there's some orange bitters. These are really cute. There's also some grapefruit bitters if you fancy a drink that's perhaps a little sharper. Finally, in the bottle department there's also the aromatic bitters as well. Now in this little tin there's 6 brown sugar cubes. As I said earlier, there's enough ingredients in this kit to make 6 separate old fashions. Just put those there. And then finally you have 3 cocktail picks as well. Right, I'm just going to put all this back in the box just to give myself a little bit of space to work. And then we can get started making the drink. Before doing so though, I'm just going to have a quick peruse over the instructions that are present. All seems pretty straightforward. There's 5 steps that are available, and there's also a list of ingredients and what ingredients you also need to supply yourself. In this case you're going to need to supply your own bourbon whiskey. My choice for this is Woodford Reserve. You're also going to need to supply your own ice cubes and, if you so choose, some water. Okay, we've cleared a little bit of space. We have our Woodford Reserve on hand. We also have the metal tin with everything in it, and all we need now is something to mix it in. The kit recommends that you mix this directly into the glass, so whether that be a whiskey glass or a old-fashioned glass. I prefer to do it in one of these mixing jugs instead. It gives a little bit more space to work. It also looks pretty on camera. First up is our aromatic bitters, so we need 3 to 4 dashes. Just pop the lid back on there, put it back in the kit. The really cool thing about this is that it's entirely portable, so if you had easy access to some bourbon and some ice, then you could take it away camping with you, for example. Next up is the orange bitters. It was really quite hard to work out whether any of this was actually coming out of the bottle because the hole is so small and there's really not a lot of liquid in these to start with. I think that's enough. Haha. Okay, this little spoon is definitely not going to work for this purpose. Instead I'm going to swap out to one that we have in the bar at home. Alternatively, if you are mixing this in a glass, I'm sure that the smaller spoon will work just fine for you. Now the aim here is just to break up the sugar cube and combine it with the bitters that are in the bottom of the glass. At this stage they do suggest that you can also add water if you so choose. I have decided to forego that step. Once those are sufficiently muddled together, we can add 60 milliliters of bourbon whiskey, or 2 ounces. And resume mixing. The instructions on the little card do give some very interesting suggestions and recommend that you stir 20 times clockwise and then 20 times counterclockwise. And then add the bourbon and stir further 20 times in each direction. As you can probably tell here, I'm not being that specific with how many times I'm stirring this. What I'm mainly looking for here is I'm looking to make sure that all of the sugar, or at least the vast majority of it, has dissolved into the whiskey. Okay, I think that's just about done. A little bit more. Just make sure that there's nothing sat in the middle of the glass. Next up, we'll add some ice. We've been having some problems at home recently with the freezing of large ice cubes, and they've just not been coming out quite as clear as what we've had previous experience with. And I think part of this is down to the freezer being too cold. But if anyone has any other ideas as to how to get perfectly clear ice, feel free to leave comments in the section below. We're now almost ready to serve, so I'm just going to move the napkin over to the other side and we'll fetch our glass. I've been cheating a little bit. This one's been sat in the freezer for a little while, that's why it's all covered in condensation on the outside. Add one large ice cube to the glass. When serving drinks that really are to celebrate the spirit itself, it's important to use large ice cubes to make sure that you get as little dilution as possible while still making sure that the drink is kept nice and cold. All that's left to do, use a strainer to strain the drink into the glass. Making sure to get everything out of there. And now we just have to decorate. We're going to start by using one of the cocktail picks that's supplied in the kit. These can be a little fiddly to get out. First up on the garnish list is a maraschino cherry, so we're just going to poke this from in the jar, thread it onto the cocktail pick a little bit, and then just slot it in down the side of the ice cube there. I'm nearly out of those, I'm going to have to get some more. Now, the dressings for this, so the garnish, so the orange wheel and the maraschino cherry, they aren't included in the kit, but I couldn't resist just sprucing the drink up a little bit. I will, however, definitely admit that my whiskey glass is possibly a little small for this, or my orange wheels are a little bit too big. I'll let you make the decision as to which way around you think that is. And that's it done. That's us finished. Here we have an old-fashioned made from a boxed kit with Woodford Reserve. If you're getting into making cocktails and this is one of the first ones that you've done, then I think that's a really great place to start and gets you familiar with combining ingredients in order to make a drink. These are also really funny if you're going away camping perhaps and you want a way to impress your friends by making cocktails on the go. I can definitely see the appeal of these, and I'll be picking up more next time that I'm over in the States. I may even see if there's a way of getting hold of them in the UK. Now for the all-important test. How does this taste? Whilst it's never going to be as good as an old-fashioned made with fresh orange peel, I think this is a worthy contender for an old-fashioned. And I can definitely see the entertainment in being able to make these on the go. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in another video.